Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Waffles RC. I look like I'm dressed the exact same I was in last week's video, and that's because the magic of YouTube. I've finished the 24 scale and I still have time, so what are we going to do? We are going to dissect and fix this thing and try something new. First off, we have to fix it. The links, the drive shaft, all the stuff on the front, and the axle shafts. Luckily, I found some donor axles, so we can take parts off of this to fix this one. But the different thing that I'm going to do with the front is I'm not going to run the front drive shaft. I'm going to attempt this in two-wheel drive, just the rear axle. There's two reasons behind that. Number one, I think part of the problem that this thing was having was the fact that the locked front differential with power being sent to it was throwing that steering servo all over the place. So if I can eliminate that, then that will hopefully solve our steering on our own problem. And number 1.5, I also got a new BEC that is capable of upping the voltage from 5 volts to 7.4, giving that servo more power, hopefully keeping it straight. And number 2, the second reason why I'm going to go two-wheel drive is because if this thing doesn't work as a speed truck, then I'm going to turn it into a drift truck, which means two-wheel drive. So we're going to find out what works. Don't know how well you're going to be able to see this, but that shouldn't do that. It should just be perfectly straight. I can't even get the bearing off of this thing. Also, the other thing that I found is during that it snapped. I hold it with my fingers, you won't even be able to see it. But the pin that the hub sits in, yeah, that broke in half, which also caused it to dig very heavily into the cup, the axle retainer cup. So now I'm going to take this apart and hope that that axle shaft is the same. Wish me luck, please. Okay, the axle shafts did match. They were exactly the same, and I got everything hooked back up where it needs to be. Drive shaft, upper control arm links that were completely obliterated. So the rear end is done. So one thing that I did do differently while putting this together was I got rid of the bearings that came in these rear axles, at least on the axle shaft. I didn't replace all of them, but I replaced those. Now I highly doubt that it's going to do anything to mitigate, that, because they're bent after the bearing. But I figured better bearings. Why not try it? Because I forgot that I have a bucket of bearings. And I just happened to find the right ones for the axle shafts. These are Fast Eddies. I'm sure a lot of you may know about Fast Eddies. I've had really good luck with these bearings, especially in waterproof situations. I have not had a single Fast Eddy bearing rust out, basically, because of water. So they're a sealed bearing, better than the ones that came in it, which are not sealed and quite chunky, honestly. I mean, they're not horrible, but they're pretty gritty. They could have, I don't know. I honestly don't know, but I changed them because, well, I had them. So now we get to move on to the front. Now I think what I'm going to do, just straight off the bat, is ditch the whole front axle drive, I think, because once again, never throwing away parts because I'm a hoarder. I do believe that I have 2 straight axle AR44 axle stubs, so I should be able to take them down to this right here. I'm going to take that pivot ball out of there as well, so that way there's nothing in there just floating around, but that right there will hold the bearing in and the hub on making it so that the wheel will stay on, but there will be no axle shaft going into the center diff. Hopefully fixing our steering situation, which I'm not going to know exactly for sure whether it's going to fix it or not, because I'm going to put a different BEC in it. So it may be, if this all works, the BEC might be the thing that fixes it. The no front drive may be the thing that fixes it. We don't know. So let's just tear it apart, put stuff back together, and I'll let you know what I find. All right, well, it's a little bit shorter, mainly on the threads, but the backs were the same way too. So we're gonna run it. Don't really have much else of a choice, because if I remember the front axle over here, if I remember this one, yeah, that one's even shorter. So that would be worse. All right, so I got the pivot ball out of it. So this is now going to completely replace the axle shaft and go in here like that with no drive whatsoever. But I need to replace the bearings first. Let's get that one out of there. See if I have one that big. I think I might. Yes, I do. I got a couple of them. See, throwing away good parts is pointless. Make sure it fits first. Yes, it does. What about our axle shaft? Yes, it does. Is it seated all the way? It sure is now. Then we grab apparently 7 of those. Don't need that many, just need one. Put that on, and bam. Now we have new bearings. Feels great, honestly. So we got the new bearings. Surprisingly, our hub pin is not bent or broken. So we will put our shims back on, because that helped too. So shims back on. Put that in like so. And that is how you can make a 2-wheel drive, or a 4-wheel drive, 2-wheel drive. But I feel like it needs more shims, because that is not quite enough. I don't know. I'll figure it out. I don't know how well you can see it, but this axle shaft was actually actively coming apart. So even if the thing kept running, that was gonna come right out and make it crash more like it did. I think we caught that just in time to get rid of it. Don't need it. Don't need any of it. Actually, we need some of it, but you know what I mean. So take this one, change the bearings in this one, put the new axle shaft in it, shim it, move on to the next part. All right, today is the day. Hopefully we're going to try and get this up to 30 miles an hour, maybe more, who knows. As you can tell, I'm not being overly optimistic of over 30 miles an hour, mainly because yeah, well, you remember the last video. So the other thing that I have done is, obviously you guys are right in here, and when I put you out there, you can only see it going back and forth with a standing still camera. So I have attempted to do this. So hopefully I can get some shots of actually, you know, following the car. All right, so I just reset this thing, and it's trying to find the satellites right now, you know, all 3 of them that it probably knows how to communicate with. But I went to the max speed because I said in the last video of this thing that I had it set on the wrong setting, or it wasn't set correctly. I had it on average speed and it said 11.6. I went to the max speed before I just reset it and it said 23.9. So the mud truck can do 23.9, basically 24 miles an hour, and this thing crashed uncontrollably at 26. So the purpose of this speed vehicle obviously is negated by the fact that all you need is fully locked axles, which this thing couldn't handle, 6-inch mud tires, and for it to be like 10 inches tall. Who knew? All right, it's reset. Sorry about the wind, but you know, you'll get over it. All right, so the current settings that this thing is on is the steering I turned down to 10% speed, so it's very slow, but I'm hoping for that. And the gyro I did turn it on and I have it at 3%. So let's see what happens, shall we? There's that too. Let's see what happened there. 23.7 miles per hour on that one. We'll reset it. Still have not gotten it to full speed yet, or full throttle. Ooh, ooh, ooh. Okay, didn't crash into my own truck. That's good. Steering's still kind of doing whatever it wants. It is much more stable though. Maybe that sounded good. Let's bring it back, see what it says. Doesn't like that bump right there. Now we're cooking with oil. We've already beat our last record. 27.7. I think it's faster this direction. Let's go over here. Start from the bump. Run away. Run away. So my whole, camera idea works a lot better when I hit record. So you didn't see any of the 27 mile an hour speed run. So let's try that one more time and try for 30 now. Remember, just slowly getting this thing dialed in. I'll film from this way because, well, that way the car is faster. Go down here, try and get this done before the rain comes. We'll bring it back and we'll check it. Really? So it's saying 26.5. All right, it's gonna start raining soon, so. Doesn't like the bump. Past the bump. Wait for the neighbors to drive out of here. Hmm, 27.4 on that one, so that was good. Let's go a little bit further down. Turn around slowly. past the bump. Got a little unsettled there. I think that transmission's binding up again. Nope, transmission's not binding up. 28.3. We're getting there. It's got a little more in it still. Alright, I'm just going to be real with you guys. This is going to be its final attempt before I just turn it into a drift truck. Because I'm tired of breaking everything on it all the time. Which I knew was going to happen, but it's getting ridiculous. Now, as a drift truck, it'll be able to do it. So, one last try. Sorry about the wind again. Alright, it's doing it again. And it's starting to rain too, so full send. Alright, that was almost full throttle. Yes! Finally did it. 30.5 miles an hour. Celebratory crash. That's right. How do you celebrate reaching your top speed of your custom-made vehicle? Crash it. That's how you're supposed to do it, right? Yeah. I'm just gonna keep crashing it now. Yeah, there's some bent stuff in here now, but all right, we reached our goal. Have not reset it after the crash. 30.5 miles an hour. Not great, but we reached our goal. Now it will become a drift truck. So stay tuned for when the speed truck becomes a drift truck. Thank you all for tuning in. Hope you guys enjoyed this. The next installment will be drift tires, and then the body can go on because it won't crash as often. Thank you all for watching, and we'll see you next week.